theatricality and deception. Powerful agents to the uninitiated, but we are initiated.
I'm super excited!
Liftoff of the 25th Space Shuttle mission, and it has cleared the tower.
Now control. Roger, roll, Challenger. Good roll program confirmed. Challenger now heading downrange.
So the 25th Space Shuttle mission is now on the way after more delays than NASA cares to count. This morning, it looked as though they were not going to be able to get off.
1 minute, 15 seconds. Velocity 2,900 feet per second. Altitude 9 nautical miles. Downrange distance 7 nautical miles.
You saw it just a few moments ago, about 45 seconds after liftoff, a huge fireball in the sky.
We have a report from the flight dynamics officer that the vehicle has exploded.
In 1986, the shuttle Challenger exploded about 74 seconds after takeoff, killing all 7 astronauts inside. Or did it? It turns out that 6 of the 7 are still alive and kicking today. Ellison Onizuka claims to be his identical twin brother, Claude. Yeah, I've got an identical twin brother, Claude, too. The Challenger pilot, Mickey Smith, hasn't even bothered changing his name. He's now Professor Michael J. Smith of University of Wisconsin. Now, Krista McAuliffe was a bit of a sneaky one. She was the Challenger payload specialist, quite famous for being a teacher. It turns out during her astronaut days she was using her middle name, Krista, and now she goes by her first name, Sharon, and she's a Syracuse law professor. The Challenger commander, Francis Richard Scobie, is now Dick Scobie, which sounds like a rather unpleasant disease, CEO of Cows in Trees Limited. Judith Resnick, the Challenger mission specialist, again hasn't even bothered changing her name. She's a professor at Yale Law. And finally, Ronald McNair, another Challenger mission specialist, claims to be his identical twin brother, Carl McNair. What are the odds?
The reason these people are still alive and well today is because they were not on that shuttle. They were not on that shuttle because that shuttle was not going to space. Space is not a real place. Space only exists in science fiction movies. This is why you don't know one single astronaut. You know a police officer, you know a firefighter, you know a construction worker, you know a cement finisher, because these things are a part of your reality.
Did you know that NASA has hundreds of these satellite balloons up in the air right now? I never knew these NASA satellites existed before Flat Earth. Have you seen them? Google and many other companies have fleets of these balloons as well. Look up Project Loon. The fact that NASA and its subsidiaries hardly discuss these so-called satellites was a huge proof for me, because it evinces a deliberate effort to conceal the fact that space satellites don't exist. The whitewash of these balloon satellites is evidence that they are lying about space satellites. These high-altitude balloons can carry 8,000 pounds and include telescopes, radar equipment, communications equipment, internet, etc. Here's one that almost killed some people. Finally, look at these actual NASA videos of satellites. They are manifestly fake. Look at this one. 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 What you're seeing right now is a video from 121,000 feet. I remember when I first saw this, I was just dumbfounded because it didn't match anything that I've watched before. Whenever you're shown a picture of a high altitude balloon or even a high flight, you're shown something phony like this. This isn't once in a while, this is the standard. It turns out that these so-called curvature photos and videos were all shot with a fisheye or ultra-wide angled lens to get this effect. That's a fact. It's a curvature illusion. For all of our lives, we're inundated with supposed pictures from space. High-altitude balloons finally gave us a vision of what the Earth truly looks like from high up.
So much of what NASA has claimed to have done has been faked.
Let me tell you, it's a lot. Here's the space shuttle letting out its payload. Look at that! It's a giant head! A giant head! Maybe I'm mistaken. Wait, nope, it's a giant head. A giant space head. And let's not forget the moon landing when the astronauts first walked on the moon. Wait, it was the lights. The lights came down and hit them. Wait, those people don't have spacesuits on?
I can make better videos with my iPhone.
Here we have the newly released images of Mars. Tell me why, with all the technology we have today, we would send that little hunk of junk up there into space. Do you remember a few years back when NASA released images of Mars, but they got caught filming in the desert? Yeah. And also these meteors, space rocks. There's no craters. You can tell me the wind covered up the crater holes all you want, but how come there's no dirt on top of these rocks?
The road is too far. You know, I can tell the road is too far.
Good.
Yeah, like kind of right there and turn to me. That's pretty good.
Here's the modified Men in Black version. For the first 4,000 years of our civilization, we believed that the Earth was a flattish disk, surrounded by a solid dome barrier called the firmament. All of the 5 major religions had their own version of this, and the churches enforced the belief. Then, around 1514, a man named Copernicus created a new model of the world, He stated that if the Earth was spinning around 1,100 miles an hour and circling the Sun at 60,000 miles an hour, the world was then round. And while the math more or less worked, there was a problem. It was 1500, and the technology to prove such a theory wasn't there. The first balloon to carry people wasn't invented until 1760. Sailboats were the only travel over water, and the fastest thing on land was a horse. But the new worldview was promoted and took hold. The religions adapted to handle the new reality, and life moved on. More importantly, the globe model was quickly introduced into the education systems. Over the next 500 years, the challenges to this model faded, to the point where the globe was accepted as universally as physical laws such as gravity.
So in the making of this moon landing phone call video, I was forced to ask the question, which you should totally scroll up and watch, by the way. Did they actually have radio transmitters in 1969 that could go 238,900 miles? In the lunar lander?
So then naturally, the question becomes, do they even have radio transmitters that can go that far in 2022?
So, what I did was I went to Google and I searched, what is the strongest radio transmitter on Earth? And I got this. Transmitter Salt in Hungary. Which, if you look close, right here, was reported as far as Michigan. So all I did was go to freemattools.com, or as the crow flies distance, and type in Salt Hungary to Michigan, USA. And the answer was 4,650 miles.
The Earth really is flat. How did Japan attack Pearl Harbor? This question is a good example of how easily people fall for the propaganda. People will see a meme like this and somehow think that they outsmarted the flat Earth community. Why do you think memes like this exist anyways? The vast majority of the people who decided to join this debate do not know the first thing that they're talking about. The masses have been brainwashed into hating this topic, so they never properly look into it. If you fell for this meme, somebody played you. And that somebody cannot even spell Japan.
Not everybody can be a robot polisher.
The flat Earth map, Japan is right there, and Hawaii is right there. That wasn't very hard, now was it? People who defend the globe and attack the flat earthers, they mix the two models together and pretend as if it doesn't make any sense. Of course it doesn't make any sense when you apply globe logic to the flat Earth. You guys need to realize that the two models are not the same. People who benefit from this lie have fooled you into mixing both models, so you can't figure it out. If you apply globe nonsense to the flat Earth, of course it's not going to work. Do you even know who you're defending when you stand up for the globe? Do you not realize that all of the parasites running the world are all in on this lie? And by you defending this lie, you are prolonging the suffering here on Earth. If you're not capable of intelligently participating in this debate, just stay out of it. You guys call us names, pretend to be so smart, treat us like we're so stupid, but you don't know the first thing about this debate. Cognitive dissonance that the world is suffering from is very real. If you get angry when somebody brings up the flat earth, you have cognitive dissonance. Some people get angry when they hear things that they do not understand. Even more people get angry when they hear things that go against their current understanding. Those of you defending the globe are standing in our way of freedom. People are brainwashed into ridiculing anybody who asks these questions. Absolutely zero thought goes into any of these globe arguments. Just a bunch of brainwashed, programmed nonsense that the government has implanted in your mind.
Not everybody can be a robot polisher.
These so-called people attack, ridicule, and criticize anybody who dares ask these questions. People hate the truth because you love the lie.